want to do? And why is it that everything he wants to do enriches the Europeans?
Welcome to the desert of the real.
What's up, y'all? Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday to all.
Yeah, I'm here with my co-host, Deontay Ford. How you doing, bro?
I'm doing all right. How's everybody doing this fine Sunday afternoon?
Yeah. And the topic for this live stream today is why don't black folks want a W in the win column? I'm tired of the breaking down, decoding, and after the fact analysis of our collective ass kickings. Name one thing black folks in America can accomplish that counts as a W in the win column. Just one thing. Thank you in advance. And that's what I'm starting with. Now, I'll give mines first. I'll go first. And then Dante can go second. And hopefully we'll have some people in the chat that can give their, analysis or their suggestions on what a W is. But for me, a W in the win column for black folks in America would be to support the black bank in America, support One United Bank, and get One United Bank to the same total assets as the Asian bank and the Latino bank, about 50 to 60. And I personally, we should be lapping them in terms of numbers. Maybe not the Latinos because they might have more numbers than us, but definitely the Asians. So that to me counts as a W. If I wake up in the morning and I open up my newspaper and I see, oh shit, One United Bank has just, said that they've signed up 1 million of black accounts, that counts as a W to me. That's my suggestion. And, I'll just say this too. It's a bipartisan issue. It doesn't matter whether you're a nationalist. It doesn't matter whether you're a do it right here person, ADOS, FBA, none of that. If you live in America, it's bipartisan that you should be supporting the black bank and pooling our resources into one black bank. So it's not even a controversial issue. It's a no-brainer. What do you think, Deontay, about my suggestion?
That's spot on, fam. And I was gonna go with the same thing. Putting money into a black bank. If we can't do that, can we own a fucking water plant, electric power plant, something on the grid to give us, to make us a little bit more comfortable? Like, can we do anything? Like, a wind
That's
column?
a good question.
Yeah, like
No,
just any like small. I'm not even asking for the moon, fam. Like, can we just have one teeny tiny, just anything, our own city again or something? Just
is that possible though? Like is that suggestion possible within America?
I mean, we still got Chinatowns, but we still got Little Chinas, but Little China exists because Big China exists. So
Yeah, but if I'm not mistaken, even other ethnic groups don't control infrastructure in America.
no, but they at least have a city block or a neighborhood.
Yeah, they do control that.
So we don't even have that. Or if we do, it's fucking crime ridden, and there's no infrastructure there. The people mostly work out of town, or they got to go elsewhere for work. It just if even with the predominantly black towns, like I'm no stranger to this. Obviously, I do it. We got a lot of Chinese restaurants in these places. It's like all our money just goes elsewhere.
So if you had to narrow it down to one thing, what would you pick?
Let's start with
Based
the
on what
bank.
you just said.
I would start with the bank because the bank is kind of soft infrastructure. It's already kind of there, and all you got to do is open up a fucking account and just put money into it. It don't take much. So I think that might be easier. But now I got to go through the painstaking task of explaining how this would benefit black people
Hmm.
and why they should do it. Because otherwise, it's just not going to get done. So
Okay, we got Joe and we got Ronan in the chat. Could you two brothers put in the chat room what you think we should? What would be considered a W in the win column for Black folks here in America? I don't know if you came in at the beginning, but I said um, Black people supporting the Black Bank, supporting One United Bank. Deontay said basically the same thing, and he mentioned some other things, but his main one was the Black Bank. So we both agreed on that. I would just like to know what you guys think. You can either call in or you could just put it in the chat room. Since I only see you two, I see there are other people watching. And if anybody else has a suggestion, put it in the chat, and we can deal with
go
it.
from there.
What's up, Michael? Same thing, Mike. What would you consider, Michael, a W in the win column for Black folks? If you had to narrow it down to one thing, what would that be? Anybody who's listening can please chime in the chat room, or if you have the call in link, you can call in and we can have a discussion. Eh, Just a reminder, me and Deontay picked the Black Bank.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of what else would be my number two.
I said a water plant or something, a hydropower plant.
Can
Just give us some water.
and I'm not being sarcastic. I'm being serious. Can we do that in America?
Well, can we put one in a black neighborhood or organize something? Like the reason I say this is because a lot of people have stopped talking about this, but the water in Flint, Michigan is still fucking poisonous.
Hmm.
Those black people, they still have no water. Nobody's doing nothing about it. We're all we got. So the least we could do is get a way to get our people some water.
Right.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, can we get something? I don't know if we can do that. I don't think anybody's gonna really try to stop us. So, you know,
Anybody in the chat? Any suggestions? What would be considered a W for Black folks in America that they could put in a win column? Anybody is free to answer. Just put it in the chat room.
come on, man. We know y'all
Michael,
out there.
can you see the screen, Deontay?
Let me. Yeah, I can see it. Supporting black banks are the simplest. Yeah, I agree. It seems, but satellite communities will always intrigue me. I'll go with supporting our banks primarily. Okay, that's what we're saying.
It's it's funny. He had the same answer as you. Like you said the same thing with the satellite.
Yeah, yeah, it's easier to do and it's quicker. How much effort does it take to open up a fucking bank account? It's easy. Everything is done on an app. All you're doing is putting your name and your fucking, I don't know what else, your phone number. I don't know. Like if you can't even do that, but you can sign up for Twitter or Facebook or whatever, we got a problem.
I put Ronan's on the screen too.
Ron, listening to what is it? Consensus of militant integrationists on radio airways. They've always they're always talking about redoing Black Wall Street. Okay, that would be the most popular if the most popular W according to them. Okay, so now you're trying to be this is we're still. I mean, I understand what they're saying, but that still falls under the category of a nation within a nation. I'm not even advocating for that. I'm just saying, can we control where we get our water from? Like, can we at least do something small? I don't think the U.S. government is going to care as long as we pay taxes on it at this point.
Would that be Ronan? Would that be what you would consider, or are you saying what they would consider the militant individual? Because I'm more interested in what you would consider a W than them. I
Yeah.
already know what their bullshit is gonna be. Let's see. Put Joe up. Can you see it, Deontay?
Hmm. Hold on. It's- okay. I'm on my iPhone. I do apologize.
Mhm.
Yeah, I got a different philosophy on what I would call a win at this point in our struggle. Won't get into it. Okay, why not? I simply say that money in a black bank would be a star sticker for us. Okay, so
Okay.
everybody's on the bank.
Everybody's
Same.
on the bank. I love it. Let's see. The names irrelevant is on. You see that?
Yeah. Yeah, I think opening up an account with black with a black banking institution is the easiest and would lead to opening other opportunities in our community. Everybody's on the bank.
Yep. Joe also says the water thing is also a star sticker.
Okay, I got a little support for that. That's that. I'll take that win.
Ronan says no, that is what they consider a W. I don't. Yeah,
Wait,
I
wait, wait,
figured that.
wait. What happened? What did he say?
He said no, that is what they consider a W. I don't. He was talking about the previous comment. So yeah, I'm
Okay.
interested in what you think, Ronan, is a W in the win column for us. Michael says integrationists consider a vague seat at the table as a W. I don't care about integrationists.
Yeah.
I'm speaking to y'all. I want to know what y'all think, because fuck all them other people. We already know what time it is with them. They're not interested in solutions. They're interested in being tied to the hip of America and bitching and moaning, complaining, having special news bulletin alerts about some white person calling a black person a nigger.
Hmm. Something we
Or,
should be very used to by now. Sad to
or,
say.
or Terrence Howard not wanting to play Marvin Gaye because he heard some rumor that he was gay. That's the stuff we're interested in.
Oh,
Ronan says, I think baby steps toward a W for black people here is banking and making upgrades to hard and soft infrastructure in predominantly black areas. So everybody seems to agree with the banking as their number one. Then we have various opinions on the number two. But I think the black bank is just a no-brainer, man.
yeah. It's easy. Just open up a fucking account.
Open up a bank account. Take some of the money you have in your current account and transfer it over to the black bank. I really don't see how this is something that we can't do.
Hmm.
You know what I think it is? Remember the Negro Leagues?
The what?
The Negro Leagues.
Oh yeah, definitely.
The Chitlin Circuit.
I believe so. Yes, I did research
I,
on it. Yeah.
I think it all boils down to the white man's ice is wetter. Ice is colder, and his water is wetter. You know, our
Yeah, you're
stuff
right.
when we support it, it's the Chitlin Circuit. It's the Negro. Is it's always like some secondary stuff.
Yeah,
It never transformed into an intergenerational institution. It's just a second rate version of what we consider the first rate version, which is white people shit.
yeah. The white man's grass is still greener. That's what that comes down to.
All right. Most people saying Black Bank. Anybody else? Any other suggestions? And I'm asking this because if it's something that is considered a W, why aren't we doing it? Ronan says, I'm bringing up infrastructure because I spend a lot of time driving around doing traffic counts. I've been in neighborhoods in New Jersey where streets haven't been paved sometimes for over a decade.
Yeah,
Yeah, facts.
facts. Yep.
Oh, let's bring in our brother. Emoji Black in the house. All black, all the time. I like that. Oh, he must
And
be
don't
busy.
get it confused either. What up, y'all?
What's up? So you heard the topic, bro? Hello?
Can you hear me pretty
Hello?
clear now?
Yeah,
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 you're
you.
good.
Yeah. I didn't hear that. I'm literally just getting on.
Oh,
I had to rip
Okay.
and run getting ready for an appointment this morning, but
Well,
I'll
I
catch up.
refresh you.
Thank
What
you.
would classify as a W in the win column for Black people in America? What one thing can we do and accomplish that we can hang our hat on and say, yeah, we did this. This is a W in America.
I think my big thing personally would be showing the power of the black dollar. And what I mean is when you say like, even when you say like, oh yes, almost a $2 trillion spending power, there's a lot of us who really look at that as a flex. There's a lot of us who like, yeah, we got money, we got $2 trillion. But I think the W would be in okay, yeah, and we're seeing more black banks being built. We're seeing black people investing their money into black banks. We're all of a sudden seeing more black companies, black schools. I think the whole banking with our money together is one of the ultimate W's. I think that would be a W, something to be proud of.
Well, sir, I would have you know that everybody before you said the exact same thing. Isn't that great?
I mean, yeah, very obvious because from that W though, so many other things could like come. Because when we talk about our money, when we talk about that $2 trillion spending power, I don't think we realize that most of that spending power is coming from a few people, a few LeBron James, Jay Z names. They the ones who have the hundreds of millions that
Hmm.
adds up to those trillions. It's not me and you. It's not just a whole bunch of us who are 100,000ers. That's not what's
Right.
going on. Most of us are broke, are just living paycheck to paycheck. But then the quote unquote best of us, in terms of financially, economically, they're just
Hmm.
skyballing and doing whatever they want, living their best life, trying to rub shoulders with Jeff Bezos instead of looking out for their people.
Right. Agreed.
But yeah, and then we can start seeing stuff like, hey, I got a business idea. I'm going to go to the black bank with that $2 trillion sitting in it waiting for us, right? I'm going to go to the black bank when we talk about we need a black school. I'm going to go to the black bank. I'm going to go to the
Hmm.
black bank to open up my CD account. I'm going to go to the black bank to ask for my car loan. That type of stuff. And that is
Right.
huge. Why we don't see that like that? I don't understand. Why we have more confidence that we can go to a white bank and get the loan? I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I hear you. Check out your
And the
stream, Deontay.
yeah, I see it.
and while Deontay's reading, while
Oh,
Deontay's reading, what I don't when you talk about the W's, we glorify and magnify the L's. Open up your social media and start scrolling. Depending on what platform you on, you're gonna see black people killing each other, black people screaming, black people talking about politics, and it's all bad. Then when you do see something good, 9 times out of 10 is how it's like in close proximity to whiteness. Like, look how good I'm doing. I'm the chief CEO of this white company. Look how good I'm doing. I just graduated and about to go start working with this white company. And we put that and say that that's black excellence. I see
Right.
that as no. I see that as more L's. when you got this black person who just, oh yeah, he was 17 and he graduated with an MBA and blah blah blah, and he's going to work for Fidelity. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like that does nothing for us. Individual
Right.
wins does nothing for us, y'all. No matter how you add them up, it is not doing it. We've been doing that since the end of slavery. Individual wins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But to address this person's point, it says here are a few W's. One significant uptick in getting a passport. Well, we know many black people don't want to travel in, so I don't know how good that'll do us. But register as a political independence. Okay, so a political party usually functions best when it has a country to control. Otherwise, it's just a loud. I don't know. It's just a group of loud ass people. But
Does he mean? I don't want to put words in the person. Do you mean
yeah,
forming a political block?
yeah. That one,
That's a
kind
that's a difference.
yeah.
And what's the rest?
Um, the rest is a paradigm mind shift to use Africa as well as multi-level resources. So using the
Uh,
African resources, but we would have to literally be over there to do that. And
mhm.
identifying as African people. Okay, so identifying as African people, we got people literally moving away from that. That's what ADOS and FBA are. That's what the Nuwapians are. That's what the Hebrew Israelite community is. All these things. That's what they're doing. That's what they're about. Delineating, as they call it. Delineating. I don't. I still don't see how you do that, but whatever. So we got a group. We got a group of people. They're not really big in numbers, but they're just loud, and they're particularly online. So black people are a bunch of scattered individuals. We got people that want to be evil Israelite. You got people that just want to be the good, quiet black guy that just works his 9 to 5 job and just pay their electric bill, and that's it. They don't really. They're just done with fighting. They're just tired. So we're a group of just scattered individuals. It's just that whole thing about just identifying with African. I'm not saying we shouldn't, but that's you know, it's just that don't look like that's gonna happen anytime soon. So wishful thinking.
Well, I just think that it's when we talk about W's, we're talking about like tangible stuff, right? Like I
Right.
Yeah,
suppose you could do a research and be like, how many people are I don't even know if they do passports by demographics and somebody's doing those stats. I am very um very confident that black people aren't. That there's no black organization counting the black passports. We could though. We really could. Anyway, when we talk about tangible stuff, like the tangible W's would be like, no, we don't just have passports, but here are the identified African countries that are welcoming African Americans, and they have programs where we building a bridge, where it's like, come on, you're gonna come over here and you're gonna integrate and we're gonna learn from you, like a circular kind of thing. That would be tangible evidence of the African American and African coalition happening. That's tangible, something where we all could go and log in and sign up and everything else, right? Tangible, tangible. When we talk about the bank, y'all, it's man, I don't know how many times we have to break it down, y'all. If just a few of us, let's just say, just for shits and giggles, if 500 of us, or let's just say 1,000 of us, put $500 in, right? Simple numbers. That's just 1,000 of them, and you just let it sit. But in reality of the reality of the bank though is that the bank is low in assets because it doesn't have accounts. It's definitely about the money, but it's mostly about the accounts because when they go to whoever runs the banks in America and ask for this money, when they go and ask for these assets, and when they go show themselves, all the people got to do, and you know the white establishment is running it and say, look, you have 10 accounts. Why are we paying you any attention? You're not a serious bank, and they're not going to be looked at as serious until our people, us, It's over 50 million of us. I don't know how many of us are grown, but it's millions and millions. It's tens of millions of us. There's no reason why that bank should be underserved by its people, man. $25 to open up an account and just let it sit without any penalty. Like every month you go by, you got $25, $25. You don't even have to put money into the account. Open the damn account, man, and then pass it on. And then watch what happens. You sit back. We've been sitting back for years. Whoever's listening to this, I don't know how old you are, but we've been sitting back here for years, basically powerless, not knowing there's nothing that we can do because we don't control government. We don't control the presidency. We don't control Senate. We don't control Congress. We control very little outside of our home. What Banking Black would do is start setting up the place where we can build streets, roads, buy towns. We can buy ghost towns and build them in black. All of these things can happen. But people have to move. You don't even have to believe in it. But you do have to put $25 into the bank and let it sit. How about that? Think about all the shit you do on a daily basis for years and don't even think about it. And it has nothing to do about progressing your people. You're giving money to a gym. You're paying a prescription for Netflix. You're paying a prescription for Paramount. You're paying a prescription for this, and that. $25 one time, yo. One fucking time. Put it into one United Bank. And then watch it flourish. What do you have to lose? Let me be Donald Trump. What you got to lose? What you got to lose, darky? Damn.
Well said. Can't say anything more than that.
Dude,
What's
there's
up,
so many
Mr.
different
Black
ways to say
Wilson?
it. My man.
Yo, what's
Good to
going
see
on?
him.
What's up? So what is your what do you think it would count as a W in the win column for Black folks in America?
The obvious one would be, banking. Another one is, I guess, a pipe dream to erase the FBA and ADOS bullshit.
Yeah.
Wow.
What would
That's
that look
actually a
like?
big one, though.
What
Yeah,
would that
for real. I
look
want to
like?
hear your
Would
thoughts
they,
on that.
in a perfect world, what would that look like?
A perfect world will look like how everybody else, you got white people that's Polish and will go back to Poland, and the Chinese will go back to China, and you would think the American Negro would be like, well, history means something, so let's find a place in Africa we can belong to, and the country of immigrants at that.
You got two countries like that.
Yeah.
I was thinking something like maybe Yvette Carnell can like resign in disgrace from the Black community, admit that she's full of shit, and go off into the pasture.
Oh, that would be lovely.
I have one more really serious one. Really
Sure.
serious
Go
one
for it.
before we start delving in. My outside of the banking one, like if I was in control of the bank and everybody started investing into it appropriately, what I would do as the president or CEO or programs developer of the bank, I would immediately start an initiative to start building K through 12 black schools in every major American city, or at least like in every state. Like how I'm in the state of Oregon, Portland will have a K through 12 black school. Atlanta, obviously, right? Every city, San Francisco, places like California will have several bigger states. But this is the reason, though, y'all. The reason is because it wouldn't just be a black school and be happy that we're at a black school with a bunch of black faces and black teachers. That in itself will change the course of history immediately, even if we don't change the education. That in itself would. What I'm talking about, though, is black schools that are black focused, that are teaching black education. Sure, you're going to learn about George Washington and all this other stuff, but we're going to learn about the true stuff. We're also going to learn about Haiti. We're also going to learn about Africa. We're not just going to sit and learn about European and Mediterranean and all that old stuff, the medieval times, right? And we're going to be teaching. And the reason why, what's going to happen once we start teaching our kids, not homeschool, schools, charter schools, public schools, just black though. Black. But what will happen is, y'all, when we're talking to adults in the future, they will already be investing in the black bank. They will already know what race first means, because that's what will be involved in the schools, teaching race first. Because that's what America does to our kids. It teaches race first, but it teaches white race first. Whether they say it or not, that is how the education is designed, for white to be first, white to be right, white to be in front. Our education will be the same way, except we will tell the truth. We wouldn't be talking about how bad people are. We'll be talking about our power. And what will happen is those kids, when they're adults, I promise you, you will not have to encourage them to bank black. You will not have to encourage them to support black business. You will not have to encourage them to get passports and visit Africa to learn about themselves. Those kids from those black schools will already be focused on black power. They will say black power. They wouldn't say black excellence. They will say black power and mean it with their chest up. Martial arts will be involved in the school. Cooking, construction work, all of these will be involved in our school, and we will build young men and women. That needs to happen. If that don't happen somewhere along the line, eventually, black America is a wrap. I don't give a damn what we do. I don't care how many presidents, as long as we still shoving our kids to public schools in math, or having them going and playing sports with kids who in public schools, having them going to church with kids in public schools, they're gonna be hearing hippity hippity hip hop, shoot this nigga, and bitch twerk. That's what our kids are getting. We need black schools. We need black banking and black schools in America across the board. Not look at what they're doing in Atlanta. Look at what they're doing in Tennessee. No. Across the board. Black banking, black schools. Hard stop.
I love to hear a black man with a vision.
Mm-hmm.
Because the vision is, because the vision is, Big Brother Holla, I see the vision of our future. We've been created. We've been created. I remember what I went through going to college. I was a feminist, sir. I was a feminist. I remember what I was like. I am the person I'm talking about. I am. I went to all of these schools, all the way up to a master's degree. They taught me nothing about myself. Nothing. Nothing at all. But it did teach me how to do research. It did teach me how to think a little bit different. And with that thinking and research, guess what I did? I went to learn about myself. And in learning about myself with their education and then my own self-education, I know that the solution is us teaching ourselves, not them. And if we don't get serious about that, we're going to be running around in circles, clapping every time we see a black face. Clapping. Look at what we're doing. Look at this black excellency right in the middle of white supremacy. Because that's the
You see how they do? Whenever he start building, they start technologically messing with us. Oh man, that sucks.
Yeah, it does.
Chef Rob.
Oh, it's been a while.
Chef Rob. I wish I had the applause thing. How are you doing, brother? Uh-oh, is it more technical difficulty? Hello, Chef. Can you talk?
Can you hear me?
I hear you now.
Oh shit! I was just sitting there, man, just like fuck it, Sorry, apologize.
How you doing, brother?
Man, bro, yeah, like I said, man, ups and downs. I got some couple of issues I'm still trying to work out.
In other words, life.
Life, goddamn right, yeah, fuckers.
There you go.
Sick of that crap, man.
Well, let me ask you though, Chef, since you're on here, because I value your opinion.
I value yours, brother. Shoot, no.
And I should say this. I should have worded it differently. But what tangible thing can we do that counts as a W in the win column for black folks here in America? A tangible, concrete thing that we can hang our hats on.
You know what, man? That's kind of a difficult question to answer, but something, you can't really do too much until you have a lot of people on board. I feel you got to have a lot more people on board, and as long as people go ahead and recognizing that, well, not to say recognizing, but going ahead and surrendering to what's going on, we ain't gonna go ahead and have nothing cohesive, nothing sticking together. You understand what I'm trying to say? The problem is that we need to go ahead and fix ourselves. Then next, you got to go ahead and worry about your economic situation, because you ain't gonna be able to do a goddamn thing if you can't go ahead and put money in your pocket and keep a fucking roof over your head. Leave all of that other nonsense alone. It's just like chasing your tail, and you're never gonna get anywhere. So worry about that thing, you, your family, and how you go ahead and put money in your pocket. I mean, keep it simple.
Okay.
You just reminded me of a story, really quick, because I ain't gonna be able to talk for longer. The brother just reminded me of a story. Yesterday, I was at an event. And the dude was teaching solar, because this black forum that I go to, they just put together a little solar power plan, and the dude was basically giving a demonstration of what he did and how it's important. This Asian dude, right? I didn't even know what was going on. I'm a training inside electrician, dealing with wires, big pipe and stuff. Very little solar. We can do it, but we focus more on the big industrial stuff, right? So I'm learning from this guy, and I'm telling him like, this is what I want to learn, so I could bring this, so I could harness energy and bring it to places without PGE, without power distributions and stuff like that. And he was like, yeah, this is what this is. And then he was like, but what we're trying to do is figure out how we can control it via remote control or on your phone and stuff. And I was like, bro, PLCs, program little computers, right? And he was like, huh? This is what I'm getting to. In the electrician field, there's different electricians. Like the electrician that I'm training to be, you can do all of the work, but then you have low volt, you have some who just do solar, you have some who just do residential, right? Now in this field, you have literally, like, it's not infighting, but it's more like, yeah, they do that, they do that, they do that. Like, I'll go on a job, and instead of us doing all the electrical work, you'll have somebody doing the solar, somebody who's going to do the lighting, and then somebody who's doing the shell and core power of the building, right? This is the issue with where I'm trying to get to. I hope y'all follow me. With us black folks, we have Moors, Hebrew Israelites, black, FBA, Christian, Protestant, Catholic, all these different things. When the solution to the problem, when I was explaining to the problem to the brother, I was saying, bro, you just need PLCs. And the problem is that solar people aren't talking to the inside electricians. They're just trying to figure it out on their own. And he's like, bro, it's a race to this, and whoever figures it out is going to get so much money. I'm saying, bro, we need to talk, because I know what will make this thing work, but y'all just focus on the solar. Us black folks think we all have the answer, when the answer is with all of us. And when I talk to OGs from the NOI, they all say unity. When I talk to OGs who 5%ers, they all say unity. When I talk to OG Christians, they all fucking say unity. But when you talk to the young ones, the sycophants, the new booties, they think that Jesus is the only way. You got to be a Moor is the only way. You got to wear red fez is the only way. No, nigga, you got to have 18 wives. That's the only way. No, you got to eat raw fish for the rest of your life. That's the only way. We need everything, y'all. We need all of us. Get your head out your ass and thinking that you King Tut, nigga, and just fucking get to work. Goodbye.
Brother, I agree with you. I want to add real quick. Excuse me, real fast. And I was just thinking about when I heard that that Malcolm X was bringing a lot of brothers and sisters together, and he was like, "Hey, look, I don't give a damn about your religion." He let them know, "I'm Muslim, but you leave your religion at the door. Come on in this room, because they killing you and doing fucked up shit to you because of your color, not because of your religion." And every now and then I hear that message, but that's being evaded. Nobody wants to go here and deal with that. I had to talk to a brother the other day. Told me he was a preacher. He told me I don't see color. I said, I don't know what fucking world you live in. I've been halfway around this planet, and I see color. And I see the ones that's on top are usually the lighter skinned individuals, and who's ever darker skinned, they being treated like shit. You'd be surprised if you go to Japan, you see dark ass fucking Japanese, and they on the street begging. So we got to go here and worry about us as a group, as a color, and you can pretty much go ahead and see that. Hey, look, all us that's melanated, you can go ahead and see that we got a more of a common DNA to Africa than do these damn Europeans. But it's hard to explain that to niggas.
Yeah, I agree.
I agree completely.
But it seems like everybody seems to be on the same page when it comes to the banking issue. It's like that's a no-brainer. If you're living here in America, it doesn't matter if you're more this or that or whatever. Supporting the black bank should be a no-brainer.
Right.
No-brainer. If you know that all black people is putting their money into this bank, you should be supporting it.
Right.
I don't want to hear that. Well, we not really black, brother. I don't give a shit what you want to call yourself. The people that look like you is putting their money in the same place. So you should be down with it.
Yeah, putting your money in the same place. And another thing is like, you can go ahead and see the head, and you can put your money in white banks for years, and they come back and help you. I was thinking about the bailout the other day. I heard, I was in a line in one of these stores, and somebody was talking about, yeah, these banks got all that money and they ain't did nothing with it. Oh, now you discovered they ain't going ahead and helping your ass? They was lying from the beginning. But the banks, that increased how much money they had at the end of the day. But they were supposed to be going ahead. They got bailed out to go ahead and basically help the people. They ain't done shit. So you got to go ahead and pay attention. These people are never going to go ahead and do shit for you, but they want your money, but they're going to go ahead and treat you like shit.
Yo, Chef, I know you heard this before because you've been in these circles for a while. Have you heard some black folks say, well, why would I put my money in the black bank? Because they have to follow the regulations and rules of banking.
Oh.
So what if they do?
What are you trying to do to me, Holly? Run over my toes with a freight train. I'm screaming already because it already hurts when I hear that, and I'm like, yeah, motherfucker. They just don't get it. How much more we got to lose before we recognize that, hey, look, they about to go ahead and kill us and wipe us out. They're systematically doing that. They already got it. It's a system already in place. So you can go ahead and kill each other, and people don't realize that. I got relatives that are cops. I ain't supportive of the police. Fuck them. I don't think you're supposed to go ahead and have all that money and then coming over here to the neighborhood you grew up in and harass people you knew. Okay, right. So that shit can go on, man. But we just stay on point, man. Just stay on your message and hurl it at them, man. Good. You got me stuttering, man. That's a fucked up issue, man.
Yeah, but we gotta follow the white man's regulations.
Yeah. To a point, they are correct. But hell, it's like you running the motherfucker. How is it you running the black bank? And I knew my grandfather's cousin ran Seaway Bank back in the day. And I used to listen to him when he come around, and he be talking that, he was different when he was in the bank, but he was totally different when he was around family, and he would put down a lot of black folks. And it's like, a black man coming in your business to the bank, want to go ahead and get a loan to go ahead and open a business. Why you got to send them through so much shit? How difficult it is to go ahead to be in business as a black man in America, but you want to go ahead and add to it. Yes. Shit.
We couldn't even get them black people to support the black bank on Black History Month.
They don't even because here's something else I found out. I'm sorry, brother, but they say not to trust the black bank. It's sort of that one of those things where you say the white man's ice is colder than the black man's ice. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing. It's almost on everything out here, and these people, man, and it's sad. Even though I left, I just walked in. That's why I'm a little late. I said I'd be here early for your next stuff, but I was going ahead and have a conversation with my cousin. She it's hard to describe her. But she seems to think that we need to go ahead and talk to these white folks and go ahead and thinking they're going to change. I remember Dr. Claude Anderson talking about these people ain't going to change. So when you going to start doing shit for yourself?
Number one is consolidating resources, opening up a black bank account, putting your money in the black bank. It is ridiculous to me that the Asians and the Latinos, each of their banks is worth about $60 billion in total assets. And when you look at the number one black bank, you could put all 22 of the black banks in America together, and it wouldn't equal up to one of those banks. That is embarrassing.
Yeah.
Maybe they have Asian and Latin banking regulations that they magically just came up with.
Yeah. Chef, by the way, My checkmate for anybody who raises that argument is where is your money currently?
Right. Not just that, brother. Where's your money currently, and who is it working for? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Who is that money working for? It ain't obviously ain't working for you, and your ass living the hood. It ain't working for you. So you got to think about that. And I don't understand that, man. It's really a sad thing, but I really feel like you talked to Captain here. It was one of the things that he'd always said was 10 organized men can go ahead and do more damage and more harm than 11 than 100 to 1,000 unorganized men. They keep us chasing our tail with all this bullshit and distractions and stuff. And it's a lot of people. It's hard to stay on course. Stay with the mission. And it's harder for a lot of black folks to stay on the mission. They get distracted by stupid nonsense. Oh, look at what I no disrespect to you brothers in New York, but hey, look, fuck P. Diddy, fuck it, that motherfucker, he gonna get what he deserves. But that ain't a conversation I have every day. I don't give a damn about him. So I'm trying to worry about going ahead and taking care of me, my life, keeping a roof over my head, keeping my kids right. So all that other shit don't even fucking matter. It ain't putting no money in my pocket. It don't fucking matter.
You don't want to decode the breakdown of the stance of the Illuminati and P. Diddy and Epstein files? My brother.
Yeah, that's the important issues in the community.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck about that, man. Shit. That shit didn't put
Shannon
no
Sharp. You don't care about Shannon Sharp and Terrence Howard?
No. You almost
Fat
had me
Joe?
say who. You almost had me say who the fuck are they, man? Because that's how much I know about them. Pay attention to them. I don't give a shit about them. That ain't
No
feed my
Fat
babies.
Joe, no Busta Rhymes, man.
Fuck them, man.
You out of the loop.
Entertainers, I don't go ahead and put up there high on people I should even listen to. And some of them even tell you. And I remember when it was one time I saw a clip a little while ago that what's his name? Charles Barkley. And people was saying that you a role model. He was like, I'm not no role model. Your parents should be your role model. And I don't understand why we putting these people, up high. It may be something to that because like your home situation may be all screwed up. Your dad wasn't in the home. Even your mom may not have been in the home. So, but at some point as you get older, you got to go ahead and recognize what's really happening out here. What the world is similar to. Because
I will say this: if your life is so messed up that your mom has failed you, your pops has failed you, and you listen to Charles Barkley, it's pretty much a wrap for you anyway.
Yeah,
Charles Barkley is the last vestige of hope for you.
right.
Yeah, you're pretty much done.
Right.
So he is right in that sense. So he's not a role model for anybody.
Right. I agree.
And I do mean anybody.
Any damn body. I ain't paying attention to none of these people. They ridiculous.
I just think we should take it to the next natural conclusion that he's irrelevant to everybody.
Yeah.
But
then once his money stops, then he'll become, oh, wait a minute, guys, listen to me.
But the real question is he a tether?
Right.
We gotta do something about these tether terrorists.
Has he been to a Diddy party?
Ooh.
Yeah.
This is what the real information that we need to be, concerned with. But I said this on a post, but I think I should say it on the live so it's out there in the atmosphere. Black folks love anything that's salacious. That's what gets our attention. That's what gets our energy. That's what gets our passion. So if you're talking about anything involving sex, any thing that involves maybe possibly kids and stuff like that, oh, we are super fucking interested in that.
Yeah.
Super interested.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. What is this? How? Where did this come from?
What?
On the screen.
I put that up there, brother. I'm trying to learn
Oh,
this.
okay. I'm like,
I'm
what the
trying to
hell is
learn
that?
this. Man. I've been looking at it for a long time. I've been trying to go ahead and do my shows up here, but I've been screwing up. So that's just me, brother. I
Oh,
ain't
you sharing this? Oh, okay, I got you.
yeah, I'm
'Cause I'm
trying to
like,
learn.
how the hell? I never seen that before.
Yeah, I got a bunch of them, man. I got dude. I got a lot of
You
them.
house Negroes running scared to be honest about what you see. I can't get you in any more trouble. You're black. You live in America. You're already in trouble. Pretty much. Pretty much. You got to
Yeah,
show me how to do that. How do you?
I'm just learning, brother. I mean, shoot, because I didn't have this. I had an account with StreamYard for almost 2 years, but it's like a lot of things to do. And one day I have to sit down and tell you, it's a lot of things going on with me and some negative stuff. I mean, I even got some court dates and suing people.
Uh-oh.
So it's I ain't been able to go ahead and really sit down and do stuff, especially like back way back when I would have time, so I can go ahead and do some stuff. And because the only thing at that time I had my job, plus I had my business, and so I left the job, fuck a middle finger, and so I still do my business, but I'm doing a lot better now as far as finances are concerned, but it's this other shit that's following me. So I don't have that time to sit around and go ahead and play with these things like before. So I'm sorry, brother, but I had to creep up and go ahead and put that up there, man.
Not a problem. It's always a pleasure to have you.
Appreciate you, brother. I always like listening to you, brother. I try to catch a lot of your stuff. And all the other brothers on the panel too, man. Y'all be making some good ass fucking points. That's why sometimes I don't want to. If I go ahead and listen, that's why I listen to like the YouTube thing. Don't call in. I said my shit ain't gonna make sense. They making me sound small.
And doesn't it feel good to come to a place where you can actually speak and not have somebody speaking you over you and not have to look at a bad haircut? Doesn't it feel good?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, man.
Where you don't have to have a host that has a flat top, a fade, and an afro at the same time. Doesn't it feel good?
Yeah, it's kind of difficult to wear that. I wanted to, I came in late, brother, but it's this dude. My cousin. I got one cousin. One cousin is in Nigeria, right? And I got another cousin is in Ghana actually. And my cousin in Nigeria was telling me about this dude, man, Tyree. Oh man, this dude, man. Then I've been following him and paying attention to him and then what they're saying. But the most recent piece of nonsense is that fucking bootlicking ass house nigga general. He's doing the bidding of the Europeans, because I was looking at the history of the African. Yeah, no. The history of the different African leaders that had been, killed, assassinated by the French mostly. 23 of them since 1963 or 1962. Any one of them stand up to them and declare their independence. They trying to wipe them out. And with Ibrahim Traoré, this brother has had to date, I think, close to like 19 or 20 assassinations. And pretty much the last couple ones, they actually arrested some of these fuckers, and they found and they arrested one of the bastards, or one or two of them was from the United States. So what the fuck does that tell you when this house nigga general get up talk about he's a bad person, he's this, he's taking the gold, putting it all in his pocket? Yeah, if you pay attention, 23 fucking leaders have been assassinated, and they use the same fucking pattern, the same fucking talking points to get rid of them, and they using the same shit on this brother.
Yo, I'll just say this. Since this is a live stream, I don't want to get too detailed. But all I got to say is my energy about that is this. You ever heard that expression, ain't no fun when the rabbit get the gun?
Oh, yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Other motherfuckers need to start dying.
Right.
And then maybe they'll understand. Maybe they'll get it when their life is. It's so easy. It's like everything is abstract when somebody else is dying. You notice that? When somebody else is dying, it's all abstract, the concept of death. But when it's happening to you, then it becomes very clear. You understand what's going on. See, the problem is we allow people to hit us and we don't hit back.
That's been a problem with mine for years.
You know what? Real fast, brother.
Go ahead.
What you just said. You teach your kids not to take that shit. So how is it you taking it as an adult?
Right.
What the fucking sense that fucking made? And then your kid may go ahead and see you taking shit from somebody, and then how they supposed to fucking grow up?
I think it's time for an intervention. Personally, there needs to be some intervention. There needs to be some people fucking dying for fucking with black folks.
Go.
And I can say that on this live stream because what you gonna do about what am I saying is wrong?
Don't worry about it. You got enough people here to go ahead and pick it up after they go ahead and tell you can't come back. Did you hear what Farrakhan said?
No.
Don't leave that brother alone. That speech, and I didn't see all the people in the room. I just caught that YouTube short. I hadn't looked at the whole video. But what I noticed was one of the people that's in that room was what's that motherfucker's name? It'll come to me. West.
Cornell
West. Oh, fuck Cornell West.
Speaking of bad haircuts.
Fuck Cornell West, he's sitting in that room. I'm pretty much sure that fucker was like, hey, you need to take it down, my brother. No, what he's saying is you're making the white folks mad, man. How we gonna live? Oh, that fucking house nigga coon come out of him. Don't be messing with massa. Oh man, it just make me sick.
The gaslighting is what gets me. It's like I remember when that dude what's his name? Cambone said something about the problem on the planet Earth is white people. And everybody lost their mind. And I asked the question, well, who has he killed? Right. He ain't killed nobody. Ain't killed a soul. But yet you killing us. Right. It's real and tangible deaths on our side. This man ain't killed nobody. But yet he's the devil. Right. You know what? Let me find this other clip where damn, I can't remember his brother's name. Now the brother I put up here, that I put that picture up. Mm-hmm. What he has said, he was being interviewed by some white dude, and the white dude said, hey, look, you're considered a racist. And he had to cut him off. Hold on. And he said exactly what you said. I ain't killed nobody. I ain't hurt nobody. I ain't lynched nobody. I didn't go here and create an economic situation to keep a group of people down. He went on and on and on, and he was correct. And the white boy shut up and wanted to go to the next question. Isn't that crazy? Mm-hmm. Just suggesting that a white person or anybody die is above the pale. It's like that's a third rail. But actually killing black people is acceptable. Not suggesting black people die. Actually killing them. Yeah, that's acceptable. See, that's when you allow that level of gaslighting, it just makes you weak. Yeah, even black folks accept that, man. Even black folks accept that. Mm-hmm. I don't get the mentality, man. I really don't. How did you get to be so messed up? And I got to go ahead and try to look back at all the places I've been, everybody's house. I'm sitting around, gathered around in gatherings or whatever, and I see people sitting there watching TV, and I don't see nothing really where you educating your kids to what's going on out there, like the black talk. I don't think people having the black talk no more. You get out here. Yeah, I don't think people are having that. Everybody just like this preacher, this pastor I talked to and telling me, hey, look, I don't see color. Nigga, do you know it took everything in me not to spit in his face? Because that was ridiculous to say. Your old ass don't recognize that there's a fucking problem out here. Maybe you need to put that fucking thing down and go ahead and deal with reality, man. Open your eyes to what's going on. Don't see color. I don't see color. Fuck out of here. You in your situation because of color.
I bet you he don't say that about. I bet you he see green when they be making the donations to his motherfucking church. I'm gonna find that out in a minute too. I'll come back with an update. Yeah, I bet you he see color when they putting that money into that damn basket. Right. Yeah, man. What's the Reverend Knight? What's that classic Reverend Knight comment? He said, "I'm not a black leader. I'm a green leader." Oh shit! Telling them right off the bat. Yep. One thing about Reverend Knight, he wasn't phony. He let you know it's about me getting your money in my pocket. Right.
Lock the doors.
He said the lack of money is the root of all evil. That nigga was changing scriptures on your ass. But anyway, we've reached the hour mark, so we put in our time. I think we've covered this. I think that the consensus from this everybody that's spoken on this is that we need to put our money in the black bank.
Or create
That's
your
a
own,
W.
or create your own credit union. That's a lot easier. You know, say do something. Stop giving your money to these people who treat you like shit. You know, fuck that.
Joe says, I've said the same thing in conversations about slavery and rebellions. The mere idea that we should have was taken with more offense than all the actual historical killings of black people. Yeah, like, well, you know what? Let me not get into that because that's going to cause another conversation.
No, go ahead, man. I ain't doing nothing. It's Sunday. We can kill
No,
another
I
20.
was going to say that wasn't what's his name Nat Turner quartered.
Yeah.
Wasn't that his fate?
God damn
Yeah,
it.
they basically melted his body down and kept his skull and used his flesh for God knows what.
Yeah,
Wait,
that
then
was
Yeah.
that was his fate, right?
didn't they
But
eat
yet,
him too?
Probably
Yeah,
did.
probably.
Probably wouldn't doubt it. That's the same. You know,
but yet,
look at what they did
but
to
yet,
Patrice Lumumba. There's a Lumumba. You know,
Yeah, they did him in acid, man. They dissolved his body. They didn't
dissolved his
want shit.
body, sending his body parts around, sending his teeth to other people, to
but
other
yet,
groups.
but yet, you have black people who say that Nat Turner was racist because he wanted to kill the white slave masters.
Mm,
That's the type of Negroes we dealing with.
yeah.
And Nat Turner had to write out, and people like Jean-Jacques Dessalines, they had the right answer for those kinds of people. You put them out their misery because they're going to be standing between you and actual freedom. They'll work with the white man. You got to
Let
deal with
me
them.
let me before we close, if I can, big brother.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Let me speak in a language that everybody could understand, especially the softer of heart ones. Black people have been traumatized. Black people have been traumatized for hundreds of years, and black people continue to get traumatized, whether it's ap- actually personally or vicariously every day. Whether you open your phone and you seeing little black boys with guns shooting each other, or if you're looking at the news and you hear seeing some black person talking about how there isn't racism, or if you're seeing the president of any of these countries and what's going on in the world, black people suffer from vicarious racism and oppression 24/7. Now, healing is what's needed. Mind you, trauma and healing. That's what's been popular the last 5 or 7 years, right? When it comes to black people, though, the healing has to be black centered and black focused, and it has to lead to black success. Mind you, it cannot be just individuals, right? All those tricks have been played, and all of us on here are adults enough to understand that and admit it. The issue is getting anybody with a microphone to talk like this to the people and the people that actually hear it. We understand what's going on, but I'm telling you, the solution to healing is number one, getting away from the trauma. Let me say this loud and clear, y'all, because I've been saying it for years. This is like biologically, this is anatomically, damn it, like facts. It is impossible to heal when you're still directly in the middle, the center of your trauma. It is impossible. I don't care what you own. I don't care what drug. I don't care. And that's exactly why we walk around here circles trying to fit into squares in the society. We're circles, y'all. And everywhere we go, you need to be this square therapist. You need to be this square basketball coach. You need to be this square electrician. You need to be this square writer. You need to, are y'all understanding me? And whenever you go into your own circle, now it got to be this whole thing about blackness and black, 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 black. And that's been taken. That's been taken by anybody who puts on a damn afro or a kufi or a kente cloth and just say Africana. We need actual tangible shit. The bank is number one because all of us could just look at the fucking news and see they saying, I don't know what's going on, but these black banks are booming. Fuck! Goodbye.
Yep.
Shit.
Yeah. Can I put a
Then
button
come
on
the
that?
schools. Then we could tell our basketball players, why the fuck are you still doing business with them when we the people got these people booming? LeBron them, from him to the dude sitting on the bench. Why ain't you doing commercials for One United Bank, but we keep seeing you doing these chicken commercials, these Coke commercials, weirdo? Look what we're doing. Just the people, nigga. We need you now. It's your turn. That's what needs to happen. And we got to do that shit. Because they clearly ain't going to do it because they getting too much money from Sprite. No, they getting too much money from Nike to be thinking about some little ass niggas talking about One United Bank. Fuck out of here. We got to do that shit.
Yeah.
You know,
I know
they
before
don't.
we get off here,
I'm
can I
sorry.
put a button on what he just said?
Yeah.
I always say this, that black folks are the only people on the face of the earth who have to live with trauma woven into the fabric of their reality. I see
Bam.
in the Crow, the Brandon Lee character and his girlfriend got killed in a home invasion, and the whole concept of the movie is that his spirit could not rest because of how wrong that was. Frank Castle's family gets murdered. It makes him into the Punisher.
Yeah.
Bruce Wayne's parents get killed in a robbery. He turns into Batman. You know what I'm saying? It's like we got all of these things where people cannot live because something was so wrong that the wrong has to be righted. But black folks, we're supposed to live with that injustice just woven into the fabric of our reality and be comfortable with it. I'm going to say this for the record. Fuck that. There's a reason why we exist. The people who exist on this line right now, there's a reason why we exist because we refuse to accept that bullshit.
Thank you.
Fuck out of here. And if anybody has nothing else, does anybody else have something to say? Because I'm going to end this.
No, that should be it.
All right, y'all. It's been a pleasure.
Love y'all. Talk to y'all later.
Oh, you're going to be in the Discord tonight?
You know it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know about that. I just got some new edibles, so I might be there.
Well, that's the best reason to be there.
No, not really. It depends. If I'm sitting in my little room here, man, I'm right at my system. But if I ain't at it, I'm gonna be in my living room on the couch trying to figure out where the remote control is. So I don't know.
I hear you. All right, y'all. Have a good one.
Peace.
All right,
Peace.
fellas.